actually an early demo version.
All we wanted was opportunity. Lord knows.
So, I'm sure a lot of you probably know that record. I hope you do. It's a record called Lord Knows by Drake and Rick Ross. It was a great song, something I love a lot, something I'm very proud of. I'll tell you the way the record originally started. I'll see if I have the where it all started from. I hope I have it.
So did they come to you and say, yo, we want that sound?
No, but it
was.
No, not at all. Actually, I'll tell you exactly where it came from. Was this? It's another record I did.
Maybach music. I like this Maybach music. Sweet.
So Ross came to me when he wanted to do the self-made compilation album, and I did the intro with Wale, me, Ross, Teacher Moses, and Pill. That was his lineup at the time. So I want to say it was right before Beef's verse. So he said that in that record, and the phrase always stuck with me. So one day I was working with the Harlem Girls and Boys Boys and Girls Choir alumni, and I had this idea, and it was really just a chorus chant. I think this might be it right here. We didn't have words for it. It just sounded good.
That's a real choir?
This is me playing the keyboard. It sounded like a choir. And I don't have the final version. This is the demo version. So I'm playing this over and over. And I'm like, what can we put around this? We need the choir to say something. We like the melody, but we didn't know what they actually should be singing. You don't just have a choir in there going la la. So I'm like, wait a minute, Lord knows. Because I knew that I could take the Ross ad-lib from Self-Made and base a whole song around it. So that's what we started from. And we just kept building, and then eventually I had the, take that out. So
hold on, before you put any beat to it, it just started because of some la la?
It was a la la, and I was like, sometimes as a producer, you have to be able to hear 3 or 4 steps ahead. You have to be able to say, okay, that melody can carry an entire song. What do we base that song on? What's the first building block? So from there, I mean, on top of that, I had one of the most talented choirs in the world that I'm working with, so we just throw ideas back and forth. So eventually we started doing I had a whole band of musicians in there, and I said, you know what, I want to capture the essence of being in church on a Sunday. So, you've been to church on Sunday,
Absolutely.
In a Baptist church.
I grew up Jehovah's Witness, but I was with the Baptist.
So that was our next building block. Then obviously after that, you start filling it out with the drum. You say, what's the key elements in gospel music? Drums obviously is number 1, organ is number 2, and bass. So I started coming up with the drums. Ooh, sorry about that.
Do you have one particular drummer that you use?
One particular what?
Drummer that you use?
Yeah, my fingers, pause.
Okay.
Yeah, this is all me playing everything.
Logic. I don't have
I can't find the keyboard. So then from there, we have, let's see. One of the key things is very subtle in this beat that you don't notice right away but I wanted to give it a bit more of a rock edge. Make more of a gospel rock thing almost. So I ended up playing an extra guitar on it that mirrors my bass line. That tone is very subtle, but what I'm a big fan of when I'm making my records is using sounds that you don't necessarily hear, but when you take them out, you notice that something is missing. And there's a lot of little elements to that, like that to this record. So anyway, so we do the record. It's just, you know, me and Drake in a room. Obviously we already had the Ross admin. You know, they had a great relationship, so it's like, let's get Ross on the record. Funny fact, there's actually some Mary J. Blige ad-libs in the back of this song somewhere.
You just had those laying around, huh?
Ross had her do it, and we don't know where they came from. And I think there's one that's in there somewhere randomly. Anyway, so Drake sends the record to Ross, but he sends it to him with no vocals. So Ross doesn't realize that Drake is rapping for like 4 minutes straight. Ross assumes it's the usual, all right, you need 16 from me. So Ross just does a 16. Now I'm sitting there like, where do you fit 16 bars of Ross into like 97 bars of Drake? Because Drake is doing one continuous long verse, there's no break. You can't just, and all of his lines are feeding off of the previous ones, so you can't really just randomly insert Ross in there. So we had the idea, or I had the idea, because label was trying to get me to scrap Ross's verse because they felt like it didn't fit. And they were like, what are you gonna have? 3 minutes of Drake and then 40 seconds of Ross. I said, give me a day and I'll figure it out. So I basically took what I came up with working with the choir, took all those chords and all that music, and basically came up with a synthesizer section based on that music. So the same way the crowd is, the choir is singing the Lord Knows part, you have. Oh, my bad, hold on a second. So that's now what the choir was doing, but I used synthesizers instead to play it. So, being that the record now has a dramatic shift, right when Ross comes on, it sounds like we played it that way. Like, oh, Ross is gonna come at the end, the beat is gonna change, we're gonna buy it. And everybody thought that's how we played it, but it was really just, it was actually totally backwards. Ross did his verse, we didn't know what to do with it, so I just made a whole new section around it. And that was pretty much the end of the record.
That is the difference between a producer and a beat maker, ladies and gentlemen.
Salute.
Make some noise for Chuck Blaze, y'all. We appreciate his time. You know, I hope that y'all soaked in all of that game. Right now it's time for the third semi-final Producer Series competition. Okay, we already have 2 finalists heading